What's up guys, how are y'all doing today? Today I'm going to be talking about the Tesla Q2 2020 update, the earnings call. I've already listened to it and I'm just going to look at the earnings report, tell you all about it, see what's in there, and overall let me just tell you, it's an amazing earnings call. If you ever get the chance, please listen to it. It's so good and Elon is very hyped up and you can actually tell because they've done a spectacular job so far. So I want you to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, so let's get right into it. Alright, so here I have the Q2 2020 update, and this is just basically the about section, what's basically going to be shown. So first things first, profitability. They have a 327 million GAAP profit, operating income, 5.4% operating margin in Q2, 104 million GAAP net income, 451 million non-GAAP net income, and basically what that should give you is 4 quarters of sequential profitability. This is very important because Tesla is so close to getting to the S&P 500 that all they really needed was a profitable quarter, and they delivered. So on the cash side of things, they had $535 million increase in their cash and cash equivalents from Q1 to Q2. So now they have $8.6 billion sitting in cash. So for operations, the next US Gigafactory site has been selected, and we already know from the earnings call that it is going to be Giga Austin. It's going to be about 5 minutes away from the Austin airport, and based on the information he said, that's going to be on the Colorado River. I predict that it's going to be somewhere around this area. So really, it's in Austin, and right next to the airport means that Elon can get from pretty much anywhere across the world to his Gigafactory and get right to work or whatever he needs to do. Alright, so here's a chart that I'm going to put up on the screen, which is very important, and it shows that Tesla was the only automaker in Q2 who actually had a profit. And not only a profit, but they had increase in sales. Every other automaker had a decrease in sale, and you can tell by this chart that Tesla was up more than 10%, whereas all the others were down over negative 20%. So that should just give you an idea of the future of Tesla and how good of a company they are. They're very stable, they're very established, now they're going to do really well in the future. So on the technology side of things, these graphs represent a really good representation of how Tesla stacks up against their competition or their supposed competition. You can see that the Model S Long Range Plus has about double the range of the Porsche Taycan, which is its closest competitor, although the Porsche Taycan is arguably a lot more expensive than the Model S. And then you come to the right side where you see the SUV EPA range. You can see that the Model X is the highest, just edging over 350 miles, and the Model Y is the second highest at about 315. You can see it's over 300, whereas all the others won't even meet 250 miles of range, which is actually less than their lowest range EV that Tesla sells, which is the Model 3 Standard Range Plus. The Standard Range Plus has a range of 250 miles, and all these other premium SUVs don't. They have a range of less than 250 miles, so that should just give you a relative comparison between what they have and what the others don't. So the energy business is actually very important to Tesla's bottom line because the energy sector is quite a bit bigger than the automotive sector, so it wouldn't be impossible to assume that Tesla's energy business could well overcome their automotive business. And Tesla is really ramping up their energy business, as we've seen that in the last quarter they have actually generated for the first time a profit on their Megapacks. Another part of their system is Autobidder. Autobidder is essentially sort of like an autopilot for the energy side of things. Basically what it does is you can buy electricity when it's cheap and you can sell it when it's more expensive, basically giving you a profit. And what that's going to do is stabilize the grid and do so in a very financially feasible way where it makes total financial sense to actually implement the Megapack, Powerwalls, or whatever other energy products that they have to offer. So in the past quarter, Tesla made great strides in solar. They are at actually $1.49 per watt, and Tesla claims it's literally the cheapest cost of solar in the entire country. And basically a person who buys solar today will have their money back in about 6 years. That's what they are saying, which isn't really a long time, as these solar panels are usually guaranteed for about 25 years of energy production. So 6 years, and then you got about 19 years of free electricity for your home, office, business, whatever you so choose. Now another thing to keep in mind is that solar roof installation roughly tripled every year in the US. About 5 million roofs are installed. So Tesla roof installations has a long way to go still, and especially considering that one of these roofs is about the same price as a standard range Model 3. Selling 5 million of these a year is going to be a really big deal, and just even getting into that market is going to be a very big deal for Tesla and their future growth. So here we have some photos of the Model Y factory in Shanghai. So as you can see all the way at the back, that was a Model 3 factory, which still is running and producing Model 3s as we speak. And this is a Shanghai factory that is being developed, basically a gigafactory. And this, I guess, is the second phase of it. And they're going to produce the Model Y in very big quantities. Tesla is really ramping up production, and it wouldn't be impossible to achieve the 500,000 mark by the end of this year. Annual production rate by the end of this year. So Model Y factory interior, this I'm guessing is the stamping press. So Tesla has one of the biggest stamping presses in the world, if not the biggest, which essentially just takes the two rear body castings of a Model Y and makes it into a one ginormous cast. So this could be that, or it could be something completely different. You can also see that these robots are wrapped up, and you can see the doors behind them for shipping containers and products that will arrive or leave. Now this is the factory in Brandenburg, Germany. It's right outside of Berlin, and right now this is how the construction is going. You can see pretty much more or less the outline of where the factory is going to be built. They're going to start off from the back where all the cranes are set and then slowly move their way on forward. And if they need to, you can see in the background that it's just a plain forest, so if they really need to, they can just buy out the land and cut down more trees just to produce more cars. So expandability is not an issue here. Plus, with over $8 billion in cash, they have a lot of capital to play with and to actually expand. They are not limited by capital anymore. So this is how the rendering looks like, and you can see that this, compared to the actual image, looks very similar. They're right now only building the part at the backs right around here, and then they'll slowly expand to the entire factory. And obviously, why not? You have to have some sort of rave cave with a pool. Why not? And here are just more charts explaining what really happened in Q2 relative to all the previous quarters that we've had. And obviously you can see somewhat of a decline, but overall we've seen very positive growth in this quarter, and Tesla is going to do great, and they're going to be considered in the S&P 500. About 26 million shares have to be bought, and Tesla can do this one of two ways. One, they can actually do a capital raise and sell those shares to institutional investors at a set price, and Tesla can gain anywhere from like around 20 to 40 billion dollars by doing that. Or they can not do any of that and just let institutional investors buy out the remaining shares, and that will drive up the stock. So whatever Tesla plans to do, they're going to be at a great financial position to do pretty much anything they want. And after seeing their reports, I truly believe that their valuation is not super overvalued. It may seem like it is, and honestly, truth be told, it is if you're only considering today's prices. But if you're thinking of what's going to happen in the future, I think Tesla has a lot of growth potential. And only a few people are realizing that right now. And that is another reason why many analysts were very wrong about the stock and predicting what it's going to do, because all they did was just look at previous reports and just base it off of a company that's making a really high-end cars for a very niche market, whereas right now they're actually trying to expand into more markets and bring down the cost of their current car. Elon actually said during the earnings call that even the Model 3 is actually priced a bit too high. It's not necessarily affordable, and they are going to bring the cost down. So they are going to implement some technology, manufacturing practices that will bring down the cost of their cars over time. And a big portion of the earnings call was actually taken up by Elon actually talking about having more people on the Tesla team because they are trying to expand. And they want to do a lot of different things like Tesla insurance. They want to get into supposedly a mining business, or at least give a big contract to a company in the mining business to mine nickel, because they're going to need a lot of nickel for their batteries, especially with the Semi going to volume production. And lastly, they want some really high skilled engineers who can actually design some product lines and actually make the manufacturing process cheaper, thus making the end product, the cars, more affordable. Not necessarily the cars, but it could be the power pack, power walls, and solar. So that's been it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one, and let me just tell you, Tesla is going to do some great things in the future, and I am really excited for Battery Day, and I just really can't wait now. I just hope that it does not get delayed. So what do you guys think? Comment down below, and I'll talk to you there. Alright, thank you. Bye. Peace.